Hey everyone, we are here to debunk menopause and answer your top questions on Google. I'm Carey of Eat, Nourish, Flourish. I'm a life coach and I get to work with brilliant women to help them feel more in control of their life at every stage.
And I'm Pieta of Body by Pieta, online wellness and fitness business. I am a fitness professional and wellness coach, and I help women who are 40 plus to feel stronger inside and out.
And together you can hear we are so passionate about women taking agency over their lives at what can be a really tricky transition. And obviously we bring our own experiences to the table. I am 8 years in and I am post menopause.
And I'm right at the beginning of my journey. So, early stages of perimenopause. So, we help women right across that wide spectrum of the transition.
So, look, menopause is more than just the end of menstruation. Yeah, it has a profound change impacting overall health. And it often feels really shrouded in mystery. Often we have that awful emotion of shame, but understanding what happens can demystify this process and help you understand it and therefore manage it more effectively.
Exactly. So let's get started on demystifying it first quickly before we hit those big questions. So, for example, here's what not to do if you're a woman over 40 in perimenopause or menopause and you want to reduce your symptoms, including things like brain fog, fat loss, more muscle. Well, then do super intensive cardio workouts, do restrictive calorie counting diets, and then completely ditch the self-care. I think you get the point. So little known secret for women in this phase of life, practicing somatic stress management protocols, eating more adrenal supporting and stress busting nutrients, tracking your macros and changing your body composition with more muscle as the focus, go together like strawberries and cream. And if you approach these things correctly, then you can enjoy more things like strawberries and cream and more treats and still thrive during this transition of life. So, how do my clients go from dropping multiple dress sizes during perimenopause without doing more intensive cardio or cutting out all the treats that they love? Well, it wasn't by following random advice on Instagram or following a cookie cutter program that is designed for just anyone.
And how did my client go from feeling out of control, overwhelmed, stressed, and anxious at work and being a mum at home to becoming resilient, self confident, self accepting, and back in the driving seat of their life without ruining relationships or completely mentally breaking down? Well, it wasn't by taking a step back from work or punishing themselves to work harder, faster, and longer. So we're sure you already want to know how our clients transform from feeling like they are living in someone else's body and mind to becoming strong and healthy in just 12 weeks, while literally anchoring healthy habits, eating more, and strength-focused training only 3 times a week.
Yes, amazing. So I bet you do want to hear more. So most of our busy clients who are experiencing hormonal shifts usually have high levels of day-to-day stress as well. They make the mistakes of being hormone illiterate, which we'll explain more on that. They put themselves last. They're doing restrictive dieting and calorie counting. They're increasing cardio. And so what happens is these mistakes not only make their symptoms worse, it can actually reduce their overall longevity. It can disrupt cortisol further, which is responsible for that fat storage around our midsection, muscle loss, further weight gain, metabolic slowdown, brain shrinkage, anxiety, poor sleep quality, joint and muscle aches. I mean, the list just goes on, which ultimately means sending our hormones into further disarray, which then, of course, can increase the severity of symptoms and in the long term, increase prevalence of things like obesity, metabolic syndrome, cardiovascular diseases, dementia, and osteoporosis. So instead, what we do is provide a proven method that empowers women with knowledge and the know-how on exactly the steps on how to reduce symptoms of menopause and also how to thrive through those hormonal shifts. So we have a special tailored one-to-one Menopower program, because no two menopauses are alike, that combines coaching, expert insight, strategic advice, and a dynamic 12-week strength training regime to rejuvenate the body and the mind, which allows you to be stronger, leaner, calmer, and higher performing in your mind and your body, and ultimately increasing your performance during this stage of transition. And of course, it increases your longevity. Yay!
Absolutely. Yeah. Years to your life, life to your years. So look, if you are finally ready to get into what we truly believe can be the best shape of your midlife and perform at the top of your game, and we're talking mentally, physically, emotionally, then go grab your free copy of our Menopause Hormone Health 101, link in the comments below. And then look, go further, apply for a free discovery call with Pieta, with myself, via this link also, or go ahead and just subscribe straight off.
Amazing. All right, Charlie, I was going to call you my son. Charlie, let's go. Carey, both start with C. We've got some big questions to answer. It is time to answer those big questions that have been asked on Google. So one of the big questions are, most often asked, what are the symptoms?
Yeah, I'm hoping I know a little bit more than Charlie at this stage in my life. So look, there are over 100, and we're still learning. Women haven't been involved in menopause and evidence and work around menopause until very recently. So I heard about tinnitus from a client last week. Who on earth would think tinnitus is due to menopause, right? Dry, itchy skin, loss of libido, frequent urination, electric shock sensations. Wow, that's a fun one. Thinning of hair, nail problems, gut issues, joint pain, dental issues. The list goes on, because every system in your body is affected when your hormones change.
And can they come and go?
Oh my goodness, they're going to come and go. And, you know, things that you wouldn't expect are going to affect it. So we've got massive heat here in the UK at the moment. The seasons will affect it and make it change. I'm actually better in summer when it's hotter with my sweats. But so will your diet, because obviously everything that you're putting in your body is going to change. Whether you're exercising, that's going to change. How much you're drinking, whether you're drinking alcohol, that will make it change. There are so many ways and differences in our menopause that are affected day to day. So the short answer, yes, they're going to come and go. They're going to change.
Amazing. So which is worse then, perimenopause or menopause?
So it's funny, I guess when you're in it, you're going to think that this is me and I'm experiencing the worst symptoms. But you know what? It depends, because some people will go right through perimenopause and not have any symptoms, and then hit menopause and start to have symptoms. Some, I got to say, won't have any. Yay. You know, they won't have any. But flooding in perimenopause, who'd want that? That makes life very difficult if you're a top executive, right? And you're at work every day. But if you're not sleeping because you've got sweats and you've got brain fog, my goodness me, that's a tough day. So let's not compete. They're all difficult. We're all finding it difficult.
So it really depends. And as you say, you know, no two menopauses are alike.
Absolutely not. So, Pieta, look, let me come to you. Which, in your opinion, lifestyle factors bring on, you know, exacerbate, amplify symptoms?
Well, I mean, menopause can occur at an earlier age if we're not looking after ourselves. So, due to several lifestyle factors, including things like smoking, and also high fat body mass index doesn't help, but also depends on other various factors like genetics, environmental, socio-economic, reproductive, dietary, and then obviously a whole heap of long list of lifestyle factors. And the most common to be amplifying symptoms are usually things that are actually within our control. The biggest one I would say at the top of my list would be stress, emotional, physical, environmental. But then there are sort of forms of stress that are out of our control. Things like, you know, severe illnesses, trauma, loss, smoking, unhealthy diet, you know, alcohol and substance abuse. And then, of course, lack of fitness, strength, and muscle. Muscle's a big one. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Okay. So, you know, this is a massive question, you know, but this is one from Google. How and why does menopause affect sleep or cause insomnia?
Yes, well, lots of variables can affect sleep, but I think when we're talking about, you know, when a woman is going through or nears menopause, her hormone levels are fluctuating dramatically, which causes night sweats, which you've already talked about, and that sort of hot flushes. And that can then wake the brain whilst we're sleeping. But in addition to that, lower levels of progesterone can make some women feel irritable, and also, you know, that less kind of feeling of able to relax. You can get that restless legs kind of feeling. But other factors can be things like obviously stress, diet, lack of hydration. So there's lots of variables that can affect sleep during this time. Yeah.
Yeah, so many variables. As I say, even the seasons change that.
Yeah.
And this is the biggie, because we can feel like we're not ourselves, our body's changing. Does menopause cause weight gain?
I mean, it's a yes and no question answer, I should say. It's a yes and no answer, because if we think about what's happening to the body during menopause, you know, there's a decrease in estrogen and progesterone. And along with that sort of aging process in general, it triggers a metabolic change in the body. One change is a decrease in our muscle mass, which I've talked about earlier. That then results in fewer calories being burned. And then when there's fewer calories being burned, we start to accumulate more fat. So, however, it doesn't have to be this way. And it's not just because you arrive in menopause or perimenopause that all of a sudden, boom, you're going to be, you know, guaranteed to be overweight or carrying too much body fat. It's really a lot of it's got to do with how we're living our lives up to that point and how our lifestyle factors are contributing to that. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's clear, you know, everybody's individual, and that's why we offer an individual program. You cannot cookie cutter this stuff. So there you have it. We have answered some of the biggest questions on Google right now. We would love you to click below, download your copy, get in control with Menopause 101. I mean, go straight away, subscribe to our program using the link again below, or book in a one-to-one call. I'm sure that you probably want to know more. We want you to want to know more. We want to put you in control, and follow along for next week, because our topic for next week is exercise, diet, hydration. If you don't recognize your changing perimenopause, menopause body, then we're going to give you 3 highly effective hacks to reclaim your figure, to wear your clothes with confidence without starving yourself and doing cardio. Thanks for joining us. We hope to speak to some of you soon, and we will be back.
Amazing. Thanks so much, Carey. Thanks, everyone.